gonna do? Tell me what you're gonna do.
We're gonna read.
Trust in the Lord.
Verse 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled.
Of course.
The houses shall be destroyed.
Of course, that's
And
happening.
men shall be afraid. Verse 19.
That's happening,
A
man.
man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
See, this is what's coming, man.
No, it's happening. It's not coming. It's happening. It's happening already. We have World War I, World War II, and it's always happening.
You're not listening carefully enough.
I'm listening, man.
You're not. It's
Come
going
on,
right over
man.
your head. It said the world. You're talking about spits and spats. We're talking about it's happening in the whole world. He said, well, what? A man shall be invading their neighbors for lack of bread. Listen, when was the last time you had to go and run into your neighbor's yard because there's no food in your yard?
It's happening to other people. It's not happening to me, but it's happening to other people now. That's what I'm saying. It's happening.
You know what? You're just a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? You're a waste of time. So,
Yeah, I could say that. I could say you're a waste of time also. I could also say that. I could say that too, but I'm not gonna say that.
You're a waste of time.
No, you are a waste of time also.
We're a waste of time.
All 6 of you are also a waste of time also. All 6 of you also.
Us six.
So it's not just me. All 6 of you waste of time. So it's not just me.
Is a waste of
You're
time.
wasting your time. You're wasting time. And not only wasting time, you're trying to bring people in. Come on, man. You're in the public, man. When you come in the public, it's when you come in the public. You have to deal with people like me.
Verse 19.
Why not? Why not? What you gonna do? You gonna harass me?
A man
You gonna hold me and harass me? You don't have to deal with me. You're in the public, man.
his neighbors. But shall
Yeah, remember, I can leave if I want to leave in peace and leave you. But you can't say leave. You can't say that. You can't say shut up neither.
because of the lack of bread, meaning
Hey, I gotta
also
leave.
lack of understanding, and for great tribulation.
I'm coming out here.
Verse
I'm
20.
spewing out things out of mouth. I'm gonna
Behold, saith God Yahweh power.
Until God
I
says
will
you can't
call
do that no more.
together
I'm gonna do that.
all the kings of the earth
Tell you all about.
to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another, and to repay the kings that they have done to them.
See, and that's what?
The things they have done to them.
And that's the time what? Where Yahweh's going to gather all these nations down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Where he says he's going to plead with them, man. That ain't happened yet. So when people talk about these things are happening, this is prophecy, man. This is prophecy that ain't come to pass yet. This is what we're out here to warn you of, man. Because before the day of the Lord, before that dark day, all these things have to take place, man.
Should be a falling away first.
And that's how you know that a lot of that, hey man, major death and destruction is coming, and a lot of that death is going to be the time of Jacob's trouble, man.
You know what? Expect more scoffers.
That's right.
Yeah. Actually, someone could get the second Peter's 3 and 2. And I got a good precept here. This is Proverbs 19 and 29. Judgments are prepared for scorners and stripes for the back of fools. So, people can come and scoff. We don't really business at the end of the day. The Bible says, my sheep hear my voice. So if you can't understand it, pray to the Most High.
This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 2.
No, 3, start 3.
This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, starting at verse 3. Knowing this first, and there shall come in the last day
It
scoffers.
says, measure the time diligently in itself. We're not just measuring it by, well, this is a prophecy, but you look at the things that's going on in the world, but then when you see more scoffers come up, just know what time you're in it? Read that again.
This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verses 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last day scoffers, walking after their own lust.
Yeah, I don't deal with belief, I deal with knowledge, I deal with knowing. Yeah, dealing with your own understanding. Go on.
Verse 4, and saying, where is the promise of his
Yeah, so
coming?
when is all of this, when's this judgment day coming then? When's this judgment day, huh?
Well, the scripture says, woe to them that have lost patience.
That's right.
For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation.
So the brother's right to an extent. Yeah, these things are happening, they have been happening.
I want to add a piece of it.
But also understanding that
It's going to get worse.
it's going to get worse. In Matthew's 14th chapter, if I'm not mistaken, again, you know, a time like never was, man.
That's right.
That's what we're coming into. And even now, as we speak here, there's never been a time in history to where
It's
wickedness has exceeded so much, man. And even when you go back to the times of Noah, go back to the times of Sodom and Gomorrah, the scripture says, better was the day of Sodom and Gomorrah than what's coming, man.
That's right.
There was never a time where, you know, a man, we know there's nothing new under the sun, so we know there was probably men masquerading to be women back then, and vice versa. But there was never a time where a man can go and invert his genitals, man. This is the times we're living in, man.
Yeah, can I?
Man, you joke.
Yeah, I've got another one I want to do. So it's the verse before. It's 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 2. That ye may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets,
Oh, you see?
and of the commandment,
Said what my prophets daily rising early, man.
and of the commandment of us, the apostles of the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach.
It said to be mindful, man. That means to consider.
Yes.
You know? And our people, like the brother said perfectly earlier, because that word, it does even two things, right? It will cut you until it's sunder, because it's likened unto a sword, right? It will cut you, and you'll either heal from it and come back stronger, or it'll cut you and you bleed out and die, man.
A lot of people are going to bleed out.
Because we're sounding out like a trumpet amongst our people, and they're not being like the brother Red, they're not being mindful.
But you know how we sound. You know when you speak up a violin and they first start playing, and you think you're doing good, that's how we sound to them.
Just like so just like the brother was saying, like these things are happening, but not to a great scale, which is coming. And this is 2 Esdras 16 and 18. It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. Verse 17, it says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings.
Keys, it said the beginning. This is just the beginning, man. So man's talk thinking it's hard now. Even we have to remind ourselves at times, you know, that really, that we ain't even in the thick of it yet, man.
The scripture speaks about a woman that's in labor, like the pains, like 1 minute it might be 20 minutes apart, then it's 15 minutes apart, then it's 10 minutes apart. Next thing you know, it's up on you.
Well, the scripture does say that right now we're going through those birth pains.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I'm going to continue. It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. Yeah, there's mourning, but not great mourning. It says the beginning of famine and great death. Yeah, there's famine and death, but not great famine and death.
That's right.
No, it says the beginning of wars. What do we see right now?
Rumors of wars.
Right.
We're not actually in the thick of those wars yet. Luke saying flying.
It's the beginning. It's the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
And that shows you, yeah, you think it's evil now? It's in the beginning of evil, so really, we even touch the level of wickedness that's going to. What does the scripture say in Revelation? Because Satan know you have but a short time. So he's going to come down hard. And that's that sword the brother just read about. That's that sword, man, because what Esau's blessing was the sword. And normally that's who Yahweh Bashim Yahushua uses to jack us up and judge us.
That's how Yahushua coming back, man. How's he pleading with everyone? How's he pleading with all flesh?
With the sword.
With his sword, man.
And that's twofold spiritual, because he's also pleading with you now with the sword, man.
And you know what? And it's things like that that makes me want to just see this thing through and persevere even more. But when it does actually come through fully now, Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1,
That's the spirit, that's right.
Because we could have been on the other side of the camera.
That's right.
We could have been on the other side of the camera scoffing. But through the will and the grace of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, we're trying to be on the right side of the camera.
And we still got work to do, man.
That's right. That's why I say we're trying. We try and we continue to try and strive. Because we're not done yet. It's not over yet.
It starts off with the fear. It's the beginning of the wisdom, man.
You know what? That's one thing about a lot of people. They have no fear.
That's what it is, man.
Yeah, that is true. They have no fear. Because even myself, just like Ux just said, that we could have been on the other side of the camera. There was a point I was on the other side of the camera.
All of us, huh?
But you know what? I never walked around and scoffed men that had Bibles and reading from it. I ever listened for a bit and thought, nah, and kept it moving. But I never gainsay and scoffed them.
That's the pride again.
Right.
But when you can stand and have no base and do it, what kind of person are you?
Let's say you don't know.
Yeah, so what kind of person are you when you can stand there and scoff men that are reading the word of the Most High and you don't know anything?
What the scripture says that if those that come seeking it, you were seeking the truth. You was exactly. We were all seeking.
But even
that's the difference.
He's not even at that point where I wasn't seeking, I still
you
held
say
my
that, I believe
peace.
that you still was seeking the truth, whether you
Maybe,
realize it or not.
okay, you know what?
And it also
To come
depends
to it.
what you're seeking as well.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
Some of them want to
Yeah,
seek
yeah,
out the wisdom of Egypt.
Yeah.
Like,
We didn't quite know where it was he was seeking, but it was the...
I was saying we all kind of wanted. We were seeking. Well, I was seeking out of this place.
Yeah,
I was seeking. How do I get out of this? This is hell. Like, how do I get out?
Seeking out of the lies, man. This place is built up on lies and deceit, man.
But, you know, it's just amazing how these people come out. You've got nothing to substantiate, but yet you're arguing. You know? Madness. It's out of madness.
I want to address truth because what it was, all the stuff this guy was saying, I found it very unedifying. So I know that there may be people that were edified, but to be quite honest, I think less people were edified. So I want to try and kind of bring an edification to it. So there's 2 points he made. One of them was, he claimed that our power is evil because evil things are happening. So what I want to read to slash that talk is Romans 9 and 20, well actually I have to start from 21, verse 21. Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? This is the point now, verse 22. What if God, Yahweh power, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known? So the reason why things happen is because how do you know there's a power? Unless he makes his power known. Right? So that's point one. Because remember he's balanced. That's point one. And the other point he made was he was touching on belief. Right? But he doesn't even understand that he's demonstrating a form of belief. How can I say that? Because he said he's working. So any man that's working, do you get paid at the end of the day, which you're supposed to? No, you get paid fortnight, weekly, or monthly, not so? So that means you have to have faith in your boss's ability to pay you 7 days after you've done the job, or 2 weeks after, or a month after. Yeah? That's faith, but it's the wrong kind of faith. Because you have faith in your oppressor.
and when your boss
Have
says,
faith in the Most High.
you know what, that check didn't come through so I can pay you, now your heart's sick.
But you have to go into grace. You have to call your phone company, an electric company, and say, look, I'm going to get paid late. Could you give me a grace period? So that's going into grace now.
I want to quickly touch on that evil part. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city?
That's right.
And they be...
No, you're right. I just want to bring up why.
This book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 6. Yeah, and it reads, "Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people be not afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and Yahweh has not done it?"
So what's the understanding behind that evil? That evil is just bad things that happen to people. You know, a car crash, a man crash, that's evil, man. He's not going to look at it as good. That's just something that happened. Yeah, it's the judgment. So you have to understand when words are used, man.
Brother made a beautiful point that this is how it shows his glory.
That's right.
And what people what? They only respect violence.
That's right.
That's the only time when people actually take anything serious.
That's how anything's done.
So that's how the Heavenly Father has to deal with you, because that's especially our people.
Yeah.
And that's why we're talking about the time of Jacob. That's exactly where we have to go through Jacob's trouble to come out the other end, because
Ain't none of us go listen and say, "Oh, can you please stop doing what you're doing." You know.
point before a camp was made that we've been being too nice to a certain batch of heathens, man, and now this time trying to take them all that.
When the brother mentioned it in his precept, I'll stretch out my hand all day till again. So if you keep stretching out your hand, how are you going to make them listen now? You have to box them up.
Heavy chastisement, man.
You're not going to like it. The flood upon the earth, that'll be deemed evil. But it was righteous what he did, man.
Was it all things work together for good? Was it not good for Noah?
Yeah.
That's the balance.
That's not the balance. No,
And his family.
You know?
Book of Joel chapter 2 verse 10. The earth shall quake before them.
That's right.
The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark.
And this is what we're going back to, man. We start off the lesson by talking about that day that's fastly approaching, man. Which is that day of doom, man.
That's right.
Doomsday.
The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
And why are the sun and the moon and the stars going to withdraw their shining in that day? Because of what? Because we know those arrows, man, and fiery darts, man, are going to be shot from one end of the earth onto the other. Brother said it, man. Those ICBM missiles, which are the instrument being blown in the coals, man. The waste stuff that Yahweh Shai put the spirit on Esau, his sword, to make these instruments, man.
Dying with tuber cane.
That's right.
Yeah, this is 2 Ezra 7 and 42. He answered me and said, "This present life is not the end where much glory does abide, but for most of our people, this is where all their glory is." So therefore have they prayed for the weak, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past. Oh, yeah,
That's the last scripture. That's the last
All right, I'm going to get over.
Book of Joel chapter 2 verse 11. And Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong, but executeth his word.
It's like yesterday that one, that army, that guy yesterday, talking about army. Come on, man, you don't want to trust in flipping.
Basically, he's fearing Esau. He said, "How can we beat Esau?" I read that for the
That brought that into my head, you know what I'm saying?
Joel chapter 2 verse 11. And Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great.
Hey, man, that's the host. That's those hosts in heaven, man.
And also these other nations, man.
Which are
Because
also,
you're going to use them.
that's right. Everything. What he says, the earth and the fullness thereof.
Oh,
and those that
that's right.
For his camp is very great, for he is strong, but executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it?
Question, man. Who can abide in that day? You know,
Those who are covered under that grace, man. The ones, when you read Ezekiel 9, it says, "Go and set a mark on the men that say Christ will rise."
when they get that word terrible, because it's a word that we say a lot, but we don't really get because nobody likes anything that's terrible, right? It's the word terrible. It says causing terror or dread, frightful. It says to fill with fear, to make afraid, to shiver or tremble.
Remember that movie you said where you say Dredd? Remember that Judge Dredd? That terrible judge. That terrible judge.
It says causing fear or terror. It says exceptionally bad or displeasing. It says unspeakable, dreadful, awful, abominable.
That's why their hands is going to be on their loins in that.
Atrocious, all the worst words you can think of compiled into one thing, which is terrible. Ain't nothing nice about
That's
that.
Yahweh, man.
That's right.
He's also good. He's also loving. But it's also terrible, man. And, you know, I said before, like, think of the Most High, like, oh, you don't want to see him angry. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see him. He's not going to turn green, but you don't want to see him angry,
No,
man.
he won't turn green, but you might. Yeah, green.
Where he might be clothed in emerald green. With fingers at the end.
But you can also, like Psalm 50, where it say, consider this.
Hey,
Don't forget the Most High, it's like tear you in pieces.
and there'll be none to deliver.
I know, right?
Who's holding a Surah talking to the tree?
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and verse 3. And it reads, there can no good
And you know,
come to him.
and this is why some brothers don't want to hit the highways. Foolishness like that, strike them out. Yeah, it says, don't be scared of them. So when you read that precept, it says, if you're scared of them, I will jack you up, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to make your forest harder than...
Calm. Because your fear is only meant to be in your heart.
That's right.
So stepping out here and, you know, Lord willing, when you run out onto these highways and byways, the angels are among you. And they're not going to let no harm come unto you. You might have scoffers. You know, we've had brothers that get spat at, all this stuff, but, you know, actual bodily harm and stuff, you know, that don't come to the men of the Lord. The ones that are serving him in truth and sincerity.
And if it does, there's going to be a recompense for that, man. He says, touch my anointed and do my prophets no harm. So you do trouble one of the anointed, there's a judgment for that,
Just
man.
because that does happen, that don't mean a brother is in the spirit of fear. What the scripture says, what? That the Most High will give us the spirit of fear. That's right. Yeah, bring it out. That's the spirit.
So in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verses 14 and 15. Verse 14. For as many as are led by the Spirit of God, Yahweh power, they are the sons of God, Yahweh power. Verse 15. For ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba Nawa, Yahweh.
See that, man? Listen, what the scripture say, man? Fear not the incredulity of them, man.
It's all part of the fiery trial.
That's right,
As well.
that's right.
If, like the brother said, you are out here, and you come across a brother that tries to put their hands on you, you do get touched, you know, that's part of the trial, man. And it's only gonna strengthen you.
That's right, that's right.
You know, it's only gonna make you stronger.
And like you say, you know, like the brother say, there's judgment for that person that's done that.
What they
Heavenly
say?
Father's actually brought them up there to test that brother and to test Mark.
I can bring out Matthew 8 and 6 says it's better that a millstone was hanged over, you know, around your neck to be drowned in the depth of the sea, man. Don't trouble the men of Yahweh Shem.
That's what they did to Emmett Till, by the way. It wasn't a millstone, it was a gear shark. But after they flung him in the water, that's what they did.
And this is what we have to remember when we're out here. This is 2 Kings 6 and 15. And when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host come past the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the man was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. So, like, if we could see the amount of protection that's around here.
And that also goes into lesson, because it might sound like we're kind of going here, there, and everywhere, but that goes into a lesson because we're talking about the day of the Lord. And we're commanded not to have fear in that day, man.
That's right.
And put our trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Now, we don't say that's going to be an easy feat, but if the Lord is dealing with you, brother read it, man. He hasn't given us that spirit of fear, but of what? Of love and of sound mind, right?
That's right.
Which is that stability, right?
That's right.
The knowledge and understanding.
And they might not be able to see it now, but in that day it's going to manifest.
So what, you just bring it out.
And it's going to prank them out.
You bring it out, huh? When you see those chariots.
Yeah. No, it's going to
They'll be like,
manifest.
where's the fringes? Where's the guy with the fringes?
They ain't going to be looking for us now. They're going to be looking to go straight to the Most High. Lord, save me.
Just a precept, just to what the brother said. This is Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 19. And it reads, and they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee.
Right.
Why is that? For I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to deliver thee.
Was that precept you reading the other day? The real one?
Oh yeah.
Say that the mouth, the mouth of the Most High put these words in our mouth like fire, man, and if we would, you know.
What was in Revelation, the two prophets that can speak, call out fire.
Yeah, that's right. The Most High have given us a mouth that no one can't gainsay.
Yes.
No rough and paraphrase.
Yes.
And that's exactly why you have the example of that guy getting riled up and hurt because whatever he was trying to do, you know, people's opinions matter to them, innit?
Yes.
Heavenly Father don't give a damn about none of our opinions.
But it's attention seeking, really. Because why would you want to go to a group of brothers that are preaching the word and try to impose on them your worldview? What you should do is listen or keep it moving. He's got the wrong spirit.
Well, that's it. What I was going to say. His spirit is riled up.
It's riled up.
And he doesn't know why he's standing there. His spirit has had him.
He was here before we even opened the camp. When I went down the road with him, I saw him there. He was there.
He was in limbo, like the spirit wanted him to go, but then he wanted us to accept him as well.
He was waiting for the scriptures to drop him.
This is Isaiah chapter 52 and verse starting at 11, and it reads, depart ye, go ye out from thence, touch no unclean thing. Go ye out of the midst of her, be ye clean.
Yeah, depart out of the ways of this world, man.
And that's spiritual before it's physical.
That's right.
We're telling you to go and jump on a plane and flee to God.
That bear the vessels of Yahweh. Here's the point, verse 12 of Isaiah chapter 52. For ye shall not go out with haste, nor go by flight.
So this ain't gonna happen overnight. It's a process, man. Good. But we will be delivered. Good.
For Yahweh will go before
So
you.
we got the Most High in front of us.
And the power of Israel will be your rearward.
Covered back and forth, man.
And thou shalt hold that peace, and the Lord shall fight for you.
That's right. Right.
So
So
like,
no one's sneaking up on man. No one's jumping man from the front, from behind.
That's why I said the angel camping round
That's right.
about, man. Each way, man.
you've got a Yahweh in front, walking point, and you've got Yahweh Shai in the back, walking flank. So, you know, it's a done deal.
That's
When
got to
you
bring a smile to your face. That's the
When I make that
confidence.
scripture,
Ultimate protection, you know what I'm saying?
Can't get better than that.
Finish that, right?
Yeah.
And it's in Isaiah 45 and 17, it says, but Israel shall be saved
That's right.
in Yahweh
right.
with an everlasting salvation.
right.
Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded,
right.
world without end. So, if you're at home and you're watching and you want to hit the highways, man, we're not meant to be ashamed, man. We stand up here in boldness, man.
And the reason that's going to be able to happen, this is the brother just spread it out to you, man, because we're going to have Yahweh at the forefront, Yahweh Shai at the, in the back, and the angels round about.
And as long as we're following, thus saith the Lord, we ain't gonna be confounded, man. You don't have to worry about being confounded.
That's right. And he also said,
That's right, man.
This word confounds, man. This word cannot be confounded.
That's right. Like we keep saying it, like you have to give glory to the Most High, but giving us the understanding for to be able to see and have faith in this, man. Because this confounds a lot of people, man. Even when they come out with basic stuff, it's still confounded. The brother read Yahweh gave the word, great was the company of them that published it, and that's still confounded it.
Ultimately, like I said again, like for the first time, is that knowing the terror of the Lord, man, we persuade men, and understanding.
Yeah, we persuade
the judgment, those that are going to be persuaded. Understanding the judgment of the Lord and what's coming upon the earth, man. You want to get yourself right, man.
Otherwise, get less than what Robert said.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 3, and it reads, there can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil.
No good, man.
And part of that evil is your scoffing, man. Believe it or not.
Part of that evil is your own opinion.
That's right.
That's where you ought to go, man.
Yeah. Your pride.
Remainder, nor to him that giveth no alms.
So 12 and 3, yeah? PTSD is 12 and 3. When the grind of South Seas.
oh, you know what's good about that?
No, the Old Testament. Old Testament.
Oh, Ecclesiastes.
It's Ecclesiastes, yeah.
Oh, that's
Look, yeah.
3 and 4 you want. No, it's 12, verse 3 and 4.
Yes. Sorry.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinding.
You keep hearing about these strong men bowing and crushing their loins and crying bitterly.
It started off by saying what the leaders of the house.
But what about the weak men?
This is the strong men.
No, they die of fright. They die of fright,
It says that, man, their heart's failing them.
Imagine, because that can, you know that's like your heart beats so fast. And it jumps up with it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 3.
That's when you start to see the water running down the leg, you know, the brown stuff.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 3, and it reads, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble.
It says the keepers of the house, man. That's that house that right now we see divided amongst itself.
Right.
Because they're the ones that what? They're the ones that bear fruit over this earth right now. The earth was given unto the hand of the wicked.
And the strong men shall bow themselves.
Because, right now you look at Esau as the strong man. Yesterday was a perfect example. How are we going to defeat his army?
Yeah, innit?
How are we going to defeat his army?
No faith, man.
No faith.
And the grinders cease because they are few.
See that, man? And we're coming into a time, look at all these job layoffs you see at the moment. I think it's Amazon, they just released like 70,000 employees. Then you have
Those butters.
What are you saying with that?
Twitter.
Next year, I think it's Twitter, they're laying off 75,000 every month or something. There's something silly.
There's a few more as well. I can't remember now. I have to put my head back. These things are going to continue to happen because what Esau is replacing you with AI, man. You are no longer needed. Your services are he's used you up to use your substance. Now you're no longer needed, man.
I know a brother that just changed his job and he does one delivery job, and he's talking about getting ready the jobs. He's like, no, we don't pick the jobs no more. The bots. He said the bots upstairs pick the jobs. I was like, what? He said, yeah, the bots pick the jobs. job and bring it down to us. It didn't make sense to me, but this is the time we're in right
That's
now.
why it says the grinders shall cease, man. You know, and then what are you gonna do with yourself? Because where it is Esau wants to make it to where you gotta lean on him for everything. Now our people already do that to a degree anyway, but he wants to make it to where he's got full control. He don't even wanna have it to where you don't even come out your yard, man.
That's right.
And if you do come out your yard, you're paying him for your footsteps, the air you're breathing in.
Was it saying that the brother was bringing out a man should want to go into a city and not be able to?
Yes.
And what brings that? War.
That's right. Famine, pestilence. But it says that one. Go on now. Read that again. Yeah.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 3. In the day that the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Verse 4.
Yes, 3 and 4. 3 and 4.
Verse 4. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low.
That's twofold again. See, that's even this here, and that's spiritual, because what? The famine of the word, man. We are here doing the work, right? We're grinding, they say, right? That's gonna cease. But it's also twofold to where these jobs ain't gonna, a lot of these shops are gonna close down. Then you're gonna have these shops to where, we know that everything now you can order online, right?
But even that's going to shut down.
Even that's gonna shut down at some point. That's the grinder ceasing, man. But guess what? Jake ain't considering none of these things. It says that they think that they shall continue for the houses shall continue forever, man. They're putting no thought in or measuring the time and saying, okay, wow, even if they do, it's for a split second, because that way we say the flesh is so forgetful. And Esau's working a witchcraft on our people to make them forget. So they might say, oh well, hearing about rumors of wars. Next day, that goes out your mind and it's 10 up time. Finish that
Verse, I'll take it from the top. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 4. And the doors shall be shut in the street.
That's that grace window slamming shut, man.
Yeah.
Also, what, like the brother said, that's you been able to up and down these streets so freely anymore.
When the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice
Right
of the
back now.
bird.
Hold on. Right back now you can see the grinding is hard. It's high.
You can hear all the noises, right? You can hear the what they call the generators churning. You can hear the music. You can hear the patter of feet. You can hear people talking, laughing. That's gonna come to an end. It says what you're gonna have to do. What?
And when the sound of grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
You see that, man? That reminds me of the darkness in Egypt, That scripture. Yeah, because there was silence, man. All you could hear was the locusts, the creatures in the night, man. I remember you. I remember them two moments.
Oh, yeah.
He might be
There's something I want to bring out from that.
I'll just read it. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 4. And it reads, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
Right, so the daughters of music predominantly are James, because for some strange reason, which we know is where the salt of the earth, they're the most influential. So what's happening is their value, their esteem is being brought low. It's actually happening in front of our eyes, where that high estimation that we have of, and not just us, all the other nations had, of the daughters of. So just to wrap up what I was saying earlier with this is our last daughter.
Just the last bit of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 4. And all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
So yeah, so I just wanted to harp on that. So all these, well, I'm dealing with James. So all Yasha Allah that are singers, some of the gospel singers, some of the R&B singers, hip hop singers, they're gonna be brought low, and they are being brought low.
You said 2 Ezra 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
That's right. What we see recently, around my area, no eggs. No eggs. My brother that lives 10 miles away, no eggs. Yeah, you might find it in the marketplace, but these big stores, these superstores, they got no eggs.
Oh,
They deal with the genetics.
they're your Christmas turkey. Don't you know who want to celebrate these Eve and feast days? You're gonna run out of turkey.
And how much more when they start, when they run out of water, when they run out of essentials.
Yes.
You know, what are you gonna do? You know, who are you gonna put your trust in them?
It's funny thing you say about the eggs, because now we're seeing the windfall of that, because I believe it was a few months back, there was a few factories, egg factories burnt down, right?
Yes,
So now you're seeing the result of that.
Same over in the States. They're lacking eggs in the States as well.
Yes, they are.
We're not whinging about that. We happy. When we see these things, we happy.
You can go without eggs.
So our salvation can't die, man.
So this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, verses 16 and 17. Verse 16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight.
See? Things are gonna become short, man. They say you have to eat bread by your weight, by weight.
That used to happen in the Russian period.
But
That's what they say.
Yeah. They should eat bread by weight and with care.
yeah, you can't never. You got
Yeah,
a
yeah,
biscuit, you just eat half a biscuit.
I know, right? Put it down.
Yeah.
Put it down for a minute.
And it's funny because these things being my thoughts now, because you know the missus should be serving the youth some food, and I'll be like, hey man, I'll be telling the youth when they're throwing away big you stay there, man. You're gonna go and talk about give me every last morsel in that thing.
That reminds me of when we was younger.
Yeah.
When our father used to keep us at the table until the plate is empty, even if we didn't even like the food.
You know what
Eat what was cooked.
I used to get in trouble if I drank off my juice and couldn't.
I remember that one as well.
So now I've got a habit where if I'm eating and someone said, do you want a drink? I don't feel thirsty. But as soon as I finish eating, then I feel thirsty.
Yeah. That's how it is.
I get in trouble for that, man.
And they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment.
Everything.
Shows you what that going back to how it was after World War II.
That's right.
The rationing period, man. Ask your granddad and your gran about that, man. Your great granddad.
Yeah.
They'll tell you about rationing, man.
And it's coming back again, man.
Right, but in a bigger way this time.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is as well, how could you not notice? Even when you go to shops, you can see out there, not only that, they're spreading out.
Yeah,
They're spreading out. Making still
They put pictures up. They put pictures up of like, you know, canned goods and stuff. You go to get it's actually a picture.
False advertising.
Ain't it?
Verse 17. That they may want bread and water and be astonished or astonished one with another and consume away for their iniquity, meaning starve away.
That's right.
That's what
That's the worst. And you know what? That's the worst way to die.
You
is
say
that.
that. No, you made it. No, you hit the point. Go on, you say it.
Yeah.
Because that always says that. You know, when you think about dying through famine, through hunger, man. Hey, you know what it feels like when your stomach's touching, man.
Ain't it?
It's one of the worst feelings, you know, when your belly starts. And then when you know your belly's burning, you know your belly's rumbling for that food. And then you feel them acids start churning away because now your body's starting to eat up on them fat storages.
But hear the cry now. When you read stage 3 starvation, even when you get enough food, it can't help you.
No, it can't.
It's too late.
It's just trying to restore those, what is it,
What the no return?
Yeah. When you stage 3. So you can have a banquet in front of you, Still gonna die.
You can't lift your head.
Perfect
Head like
example
this,
of
you
that.
have to your neck.
Yeah, edit.
Perfect example of that is someone that has not eaten for days. You can't give them a big. You have to give them morsels because their stomach. Even if you don't eat for the whole day, your stomach. Yeah, that's the point.
Your stomach shrinks. You only take a certain amount.
Yeah. They have to build it back up to full capacity.
And this is why you know the Most High is good one. There's been times where we hungry. Then when I go to dish out the food now, because I'm so hungry, dish out a big plate of food, and I take like 2-3 mouthfuls, and I'm full. Yeah.
And the thing is, the reason we're talking about all these things is because it's the spirit, man. This is what's coming, man.
That's right.
Like, these are all the things that are going to be encompassed in Jacob's trouble, man.
That's right.
Before that day of the Lord. You know?
It says whoever don't die on the sword is going to die of famine or vice versa. So there's no escaping these things. There's no escaping the
Or
you know
all the
that-
above.
Even that same day, there's a judgment like that on Moab as well. Yeah. So where they're trying to get away, if they get out of this, they're gonna fall into no, I think it is easy.
Where were we? Yeah. You didn't reset for us.
Yeah, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 18. And it said, Behold, days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth.
Yeah, man. The brother read it earlier, man. The brother read it earlier in 2nd Ezra 9, man. That's the Most High visiting this earth that he made.
Verse 19. And will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that
Most are
have heard.
searching now. That's that inquisition, like finding out. Yeah. So who's been doing what then? Like, what have you been up to?
That's how you know the eyes of the Lord are here right now.
That's right. That's right.
But that's his nature. When you read the first book of Job, it explains that he made an inquisition of Satan.
Yeah. We are.
That's his nature. We are though.
Yeah. We are though. We are though, Satan. We are come
Yeah,
from.
we are God.
That's why he said pastors after his own heart.
That's
Those
right.
pastors are also what? Watchers.
Yes, yes, yes.
Book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 19. And will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled.
Jacob's trouble, man. Jacob's trouble. That's that we start after this by saying, woe unto them that desire the day of the Lord, man. But what end is it unto? Understanding what? That we have to go through the thick of Jacob's trouble, man. You know that straight and narrow path, right? That only one man can fit through at a time, you know. It's gonna be a tight squeeze, man. And along that path, there's booby traps, there's snares, man. There's all sorts of things set out to test you, man.
Only the Most High is going to guide you.
That's right. That's right. Oh yeah, the Matthew.
Book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 17. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Verse 18. Neither let him which is in the field
All else
return.
breaking loose. You think you got to, let me just pack up the baby's naps.
Verse 18. Neither let him which is in the field turn back.
Oh, you know these
Take
people
his
today.
clothes.
Oh, I left my mobile phone. Where's the charger?
Verse 19. And woe unto them that are with child,
You see?
and to them that give suck in those days.
That's a one.
Baby on breast, man.
Yeah, baby on breast. What you gonna do, man? Destroy it.
When he come for you.
What are you gonna do when that famine reach, man? And you just given birth, man? And the Most High made it to where your breast ain't bringing forth milk.
They'll probably end up like them two women. Eat my baby today.
Yeah,
Yeah, we laugh, man, but that's what's coming, man. Yeah, but that's what's coming, man.
And a lot of sisters will say, I'll never eat my baby, but that's what they were saying in that day. Until it really shit hits the fan.
That's why the scripture says he ought to say whether we do this or that.
There was a fad about 5 or 10 years ago where these same 40 women, these same, what is it, daughters of music, they were eating their placentas. And they would be sending each other's recipes. Are you serious?
There's a movie as well called Alive. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
That's the ones that died. They started chopping off little bits of the body and eating it because they got no other choice.
That's right,
It got to that point where it's like, boy, you looking good, man. Jerk him up.
That's why the most I talk about the proud being brought down low.
Yes.
That's part of that. You thinking you will never do that. So now the most I's got you
in a situation where you have to.
You used to think you was up there eating caviar.
Ain't it?
You know what I
now
mean?
you're eating a little Rupert, man.
More combinations. Thank God.
And the reason I say that is because I believe through the Spirit it's going to be the proudest people that's doing that. It's going to be the proudest people that are doing that, which are your elites and your upper class Edomites, man. The ones living in Chelsea, Kensington, you know, dripped out in this and that. They're going to be the first ones eating their
like the scriptures say, he's going to bring the highest down and the lowest up.
They're already doing that.
The roles are going to be reversed. We see.
It's going to be them Eve that's all about their parents.
Yep, 100%. And the scripture said that
Jakes that thinks that they're something more than they are.
the daughters of Zion have become evil, cruel.
Yes.
So how much more now? You see Eve on the bus, man, coughing her son in the head for nothing because he didn't walk the way she wanted him to walk off. But I see Eve be wicked, especially to their son. Especially to their son.
28 and 56, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's
So
right.
so how much more in that day when really, because all these women care about is their self anyway. When they're feeling hungry, man, hey, they're gonna be looking at little Isaiah's tackle.
Yeah, isn't it? Dessert.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 20. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day.
See, that's why another reason why we have to pray, man. Because no man knows the hour, man.
Now, by the way, I'm going to give you some historical context. During the Trail of Tears, when Andrew Jackson led the Gadites from the east coast of America to the west, called the Trail of Tears, it started in the dead of winter. Demonized.
So you can imagine what kind of charge
in the night. So they grabbed them up, dragged them, they're walking on bare feet. Just imagine that.
and you know, that we really, when you weigh it up in your mind, you meditate on it, we really haven't gone through shit yet, man. When I say that, obviously, I say that with a grain of salt because every brother have their own lot. Some brothers are going through more stuff than others. Some brothers don't speak on their stuff we've gone through at times. Because you understand that it's all part of our reasonable service, understanding what we've done in our former lives. But understanding that times we're coming into, we can't, there's no words that can express. Even this, when the scripture says it, it's like you can't put a mental picture in your mind onto how bad it's going to be, man. Because the scriptures makes it sound, even as harsh as it sounds, it still sounds light to a degree. Because when the scriptures say you're going to eat your children, you're actually putting a mental picture in your head of someone sitting down munching on their child, man.
Knife and fork, napkin around the neck.
That's why knowing the terror of the Lord, we persuade you, man.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not seen since the beginning of the world.
And this is the point the brother couldn't get. He says that there should be a tribulation since then. There was none since the world began, man. No matter what time period you go back into, man. The war, whatever war or tribulation that there was in the past, the flood, You know, it's not compared to what's coming.
You know, you said that this is what the brother couldn't get, but the reason why he couldn't get it is he doesn't believe in the word of the Most High. So he would never get it because he gainsays everything that comes out of this book.
Well, at the end of the day, he's a one in the congregation of the dead, man.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely. I see it.
And that could be a judgment as well.
That is a judgment. Because he's exactly where he's meant to be. And that's a fearful thing for us. Because not to say, because we know at the end of the day that humbly understand that we know the Heavenly Father can take the spirit of what we have away because he's the one that give it. But still in the same breath, giving praise and thanks to Yahweh Hashem Yahshai that he has woken up our tribe. Because, hey man, that's why it says, it shall be a pitiful case. Because, you know, you gotta have a level of pity. When you have understanding, you have a level of pity, man. Understanding that he, like you said, he don't even know why he's saying what he's saying or standing up here. But rather than humble down, none of us did either. None of us did. But the difference was we were able to humble down, man, and say, shit, you know what? I'm wrong. I've been wicked.
That's right.
One thing which I can definitely say, I never gainsay people that read that Bible. I didn't do it. I can't speak for anybody else. I said I didn't do it.
None of us did.
You gotta have a hell of a spirit on you
That's what I'm
to go
saying.
against guys that have
Exactly.
it's a wicked spirit that you gotta have a real strong, deceiving spirit.
It's been a fool. That's what it is, man.
Because Matthew chapter 24 verse 21, for then shall be great tribulation such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no more shall ever be.
To this time, man. That's talking about today as well, man. So, like I said, you know, it's never been more wicked than it is even today. But that wickedness is going to increase, man.
It's the book of Acts chapter 2. It's the book of Acts chapter 2 and verse 17. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith the Most High, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your souls and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions. That's what he's talking about earlier, right? And your old men shall dream dreams.
Yeah, you know what kind of time we're in, because all these things are happening, man. All these things are happening. Even the people, it said the Most High shall pour out his spirit. So even of those that ain't in this truth, you've seen testimonies and heard dreams and visions, and people of them that are in the world of great tribulation, man, fire, destruction.
And just to relate to what you said, how I got into this, I saw a vision.
See?
So that brings to me, that's how I got into this truth. I received a vision. Well, while I was in the congregation of the dead, while I was in church. So I can testify to that for real.
This is the book of Acts chapter 2 and verse 17. And it reads, and it shall come to pass
and it shall come to pass, meaning it's going to happen. It is happening right now.
It did.
It's happening, see?
in the last days, saith Yahweh, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy.
And it says all flesh. So you got heathens that are receiving visions.
That's right. That's right.
You got heathens that are receiving visions, seeing their own destruction. Got a lot of them cleaving. That's why a lot of them are cleaving to the jakes that are away right now, because they're seeing and having these visions, man.
And you know what, and you know that when you said as well, heathens, at that point I was a heathen. Yeah, because by the time you fall away, you're a heathen. So I was a heathen, and I know, but it's twofold as well, because I was deemed a heathen, and I saw the vision.
That's why it said all flesh.
Exactly.
I had one vision once, and I was dreaming, and a vision that the chariots, there was loads of chariots in the sky, and they're shooting beams at people, and I'm standing next to brothers, and they're getting shot with beams, and I'm thinking it's gonna hit me, but I'm still there. I'm not trying to say I'm saved or anything, but these are the sort of visions that we see, which give us faith in our power, man.
When I say that, when it comes to testimony of dreams, man, I've had so many. I'm a man who dream every night, so I have have so many dreams, man. Like I say, I've had dreams with brothers that are teaching in different parts of the world. I'm with them. I've been in the chariots in some of my dreams, watching the shit burn, man. Lord willing, I hope that plays itself out.
I remember when I stopped smoking for like 2 weeks straight, every night I had a dream. All of my dreams were, I always used to get into these tight, sticky situations with racist people. I just managed to squeeze out.
Yeah. Always find a way out somehow.
Always.
Where you're being chased or something like that, you might take flight.
The only one I can remember, I remember I was like, park up my car, come out, can't find my car. I'm walking now, and like these guys at their yard, bare car wheels, I'm saying, I'm sure that's my car wheels. Now I'm walking along this stretch, it's like, you see on that side, walking to like my town area, and I must have asked this guy for something, for where this place is. This Edomite guy, he goes to a pub, and he goes, yeah, there's this guy that was asking, I just knew what was happening. Like all them come out, I just managed to run down the side of the sea and the banks,
It's funny you say, because like, I can attest that I always get away.
Yeah, always.
And that's the Heavenly Father letting you like know through that vision, man, that if you keep on adhering to my word and keep it faith, I'll always give you that way out.
Way to escape.
I keep having dreams where I come out and can't find my car. It's crazy. I come out, I know I parked it here, I'm searching, never know my car's gone missing.
And a lot of these things a lot of visions that brothers have, you might not understand what it means at that precise time, but it may manifest itself some point in the future.
Yeah, depend on your car in that day.
I'll be honest,
That's
I keep on having these two recurring dreams, right? One of them is I'm wearing skates, right? I'm wearing skates, and I read up on a piece of these, you know, like in the last like slippery, I mean, like this situation. Another one I'm going to have is I'm naked in public. That's shame. Yeah. And that's because I still have shame within me. I know that. I'm still trying to purge out certain bodies. Yeah, both sides, man. But finish up.
This is Acts 2 and 17, it says, and it shall come to pass in the last days, saith Yahweh, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And on my servants and on my handmaidens I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy, and I will show wonders in the heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke.
And this is how we know that the words of the Most High is true. But these things are come to pass. There's always be that element of belief and faith, but the two is intertwined. But like I keep saying, it's like it's not a baseless faith. The prophecies increase that faith.
Right.
Hey, and what we see, we at camp, we be seeing stuff.
Hey, some crazy stuff.
We seeing it. These are the
Every time we
signs.
saw the church, Jake saw it with the two people.
Oh yeah.
We can't see it, man. It's not for them to be able to see it. Verse 20 of Acts 2, it says, the sun shall be turned into darkness,
There's that darkness again, man.
and the moon into blood.
Now, what makes the sun turn into darkness? When you look at nuclear, the fallout blocks a lot of shine out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where a lot of the dangers come from. You know, it's from the fallout.
That also goes into which we're seeing more and more of, to where in the past you'll have them in like the years will be spread out to the next 7 years. Now we're seeing back-to-back lunar eclipses, solar eclipses like never before, man.
It says, and the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great,
That's those blood moons.
before that great and notable day of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai come.
This is the notable day, man. This is the day you want to consider, man. What day is that unto you, man?
What is it?
What is it unto you, man? And that's the day.
Yes.
Right, this is Acts 2 and 18. It says, and on my servants and on my handmaidens I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy.
So this is coded, but it's actually telling you who it's referring to. Because who is the service of the Lord? Israel. So that's basically, so this is coded, but it's actually telling you who it's addressing here in code.
It says my servants, and even when you go back to Jeremiah 30, let me see if I can put it here. When you go back to Jeremiah 30, when it talks about Jacob's trouble, if you go to verse 10, it says, therefore fear not, O my servant Jacob.
That's right.
So we are the servants.
But it's important when we read the scriptures to decode it, because when you read in in Nehemiah 8, right? We are ordered to give a sense. So part of the sense is uncoding the code, making it make sense.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 2.
All we hear about when we talk about the day of the Lord, man, it's darkness, man. Thinking of Egypt, it makes me think of the time of Egypt again. Because this is spiritual Egypt.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 2 and verse 1, and it reads, blow ye the trumpet in Zion.
That's exactly what we're doing, man. We're blowing the trumpet onto our people, man. We're stretching forth our hand, man.
What it says, shall the trumpet be blown and the people not afraid? We're blowing the trumpet and the people them ain't afraid. They're not afraid.
Joel chapter 2 verse 1, blow ye the trumpet in Zion.
Saying it's not for everyone.
Right, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh coming, for it is nigh at hand. Verse 2, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountain, a great people and a strong. There has not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations.
That's the second witness, if I'm not mistaken. The time that's coming, there's never been a time like it, nor will there ever be a time like it again, man.
Because even the scriptures talks about the deliverance. No one's going to be talking about being delivered from Egypt, but deliverance from the north. And what are we talking about now? Deliverance from Egypt. That's a great deliverance.
I'm saying, man, the glory that the heavenly, because you got to remember, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai? Yahweh Shai is going to come and do his glory in that day, man. When he came last time, he came in the flesh, man. But this time he said he's not going to greet you as a man. He's going to come with his host of heaven, man. All those are thousands and thousands of angels, man.
Then you'll be able to see them.
That's right. That's why it says every eye. No, that's a good. Can you speak about that last one? 24 and 29.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 to 29. 24 to 31. For there shall arise false Christ. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light.
It says immediately after those days. What's those days talking about? That's talking about the days of Jacob's trouble. It says immediately after those days, man. In the midst of what? In the midst of World War III.
And the stars shall fall from heaven. What's the double meaning as well? Where the stars are. And the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. Verse 13. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven.
That's that fathership. It says every eye shall see him, man, and every knee shall bow in that day, because the earth's going to be covered by a giant fathership.
Remember, Ezra said, I would tell where it was graven, but I couldn't.
You can't measure them the length thereof, the width thereof, or the
And they know it, because there's a lesson I did one time
Independence Day shows
where but there's a lesson I did where I went on this it's like a comparison site, and what they do, see them, you see them spaceships in the film, they show you how big it is. That one in Star Wars, and there's even bigger than that. Like, when I say like it makes the earth look small, there's got some massive.
When the scripture says every eye, that means there's nothing, that's every eye. That's talking about the beasts, the fields, that's talking about the animals. Every eye is going to behold when Yahweh Shai comes back, man, to reclaim his throne on the earth. Right.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, which is Yahweh Shai. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn,
Hands on their loins.
and they shall see the Son of Man, Yahweh Shai Mashiach,
That's when
coming.
you know that wisdom of Solomon 5:3, I think that says, and they repented and groaning in anguish of spirit. That's right there.
Coming.
But now you realize that God, it was true. Yeah, you know you're fucked up. That'll be us.
And they shall see the Son of Man, Yahweh Shai, coming in the clouds of heaven, which is the chariot, with power and great glory.
That's right.
Up to it? Is that it? That's it. 31.
Yeah, precept quickly. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 37. Yeah, verse 37. It says, "Mark the perfect man."
That's that mark of exemption.
That's right.
That's when Isaiah. Ezekiel.
Yeah.
It says, "Mark the perfect man, and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace."
And when it says mark the perfect man, it means you see a brother that's been righteous, you know, look at him and try to do what he's doing. Because it says for the end of him is peace.
That's right.
Right, yeah, it's that brother, yeah, they're always like, yeah, I need to be like that, you know?
But the transgression,
And you get it from the elders and prophets downwards.
coming them down, that's right. It says, but the transgressors,
And also, that's what them Isaiah 4:1 will be doing in that day. They'll be marking the perfect man. You know, it says seven women shall
it says, but the transgressors shall be destroyed together.
They're not going to be marking bad boy Johnny.
But they're going to get a mark, all right? But
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, they're going to get one as well.
Whiplash.
that's them stripes.
Bring Kiva.
It says, the end of the wicked shall be cut off, but the salvation of the righteous is of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. He is their strength in the time of trouble. And Yahweh shall help them.
Notice how the scripture always speaks about Mosai in speaks of him in a sense of you know, what's the word I'm looking? It says he is, not like he might be or is. He's like confirmed. Yeah.
Not only
Confirmed.
God. That's his name. His name literally means he is.
It says, but the salvation of the righteous is of Yahweh. He is their strength in the time of trouble, and Yahweh shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in him. Yeah.
And you know, that's why, going back to the start of the lesson, man, what is it unto you, man, the day of the Lord, man? Because unto his elect, unto that hopeful elect, man,
salvation.
That's salvation, man. That's peace.
And rest.
That's rest. That's reciprocity,
You know,
man.
when the scripture speaks in Isaiah 40 and 3, and you know, when the Most High keep you rest from your hard bondage and the sorrow that the way was made to serve.
All your tears be wiped away, man. And that's what we need, man. That's what all our people need, man.
Some don't realize.
Yeah. But ultimately, again, that's the mercy that we found, because all Israel shall be saved to the end. That's the good news. Yeah, bring it up.
Book of Romans chapter 9 verse 28. For he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness. Because a short work will Yahweh Hashem Yahushai make upon the earth.
Meaning it's an easy thing, man. It's a light thing.
1 hour, right?
Yeah. It's a light thing, man. It's you make a short work. Yeah, it's not difficult for the Most High to destroy this place. Yeah, but without him, and we try and do it, like, it's a big problem, man. Yeah. They're gonna find out in that day, man. Like, no more scoffing
On film, man.
I know, right?
You don't scoff during judgment.
Thank you, man.
That day is going to come upon you as a thief, man.
Yeah, I'm going to start it off a bit different today because we had a repetitious scoffer. So it's come a couple times before. So this is in the spirit of the scoffer. So this is the book of Proverbs chapter 21 verses 2. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord Yahweh pondereth the heart. And I'm going to precept that with Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 2. And it reads, all the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord Yahweh weigheth the spirit. And here I'm more than one. And then I'm going to jump to Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 1. And I'm there already. The preparation of the heart in mouth and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord Yahweh. And then I'm going to end it with my bread and butter precept. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 24. And it reads, man's goings are of the Lord Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way?
This is we start the book of Proverbs chapter 5 verse 21. It says, for the ways of man are before the eyes of Yahweh, and he pondereth all his goings. This is Proverbs 19 and verse 21. It says, there are many devices in a man's heart, nevertheless the counsel of Yahweh that shall stand.
I will do all my pleasure, man.
This is the book of Hebrews chapter 10 verse 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Precept that with the book of Psalm chapter 50 verse 22. Now consider this, ye that forget Yahweh, he shall tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 3. It reads, the eyes of Yahweh are in every place, beholding the evil and the good.
That goes back to that scripture I read in 2 Kings, man. Like, open their eyes so you can see, Lord. And when you think they're not watching,
Hey, they watch it,
man.
everything, every single thing. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 19. The works of all flesh are before him, and nothing can be hid from his eyes. And one more precept. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 20. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 23 and 19. It says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of Yahweh are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts.
First one I'm going to read is Psalms 119 and verse 104. And it reads, through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. And verse 100 of Psalms 119, and it reads, I understand more than the ancients because I keep thy precepts. Then I'm going to jump to Proverbs chapter 4 verse 7, and it reads, wisdom is a principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Then I'm going to precept that with my usual, which is Psalms 111 and verse 10. And it reads, Psalms 111 verse 10.
Before you say that, right through the lesson today, there's something that's been in my mind, and it goes with that. So when you read it, we're going to read it together. I'm going to read what I had in my mind. So let's go.
Psalms 111 verse 10, and it reads, the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth
forever. So what was in my mind right through today, every time Daniela or Masha or Yashala or anybody mentioned the day of the Lord, in my mind it was transferring that verse, the fear of the Lord, to the day of the Lord. So through the Spirit, I want to say the day of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom for all the other nations. It's going to be the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding is all, because everybody is going to have to keep it. That's right.
And well said, brother. Yeah. And then I'm going to end, as always, as you know, the conclusion of the whole matter. This is why we do what we do, why we read out this book, and why we hold fast to this. And this is the conclusion of the whole matter. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13, and it reads, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man, every Israelite man, woman, and child. Verse 14, for Yahweh will bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
That's right, man. That's the conclusion of the whole matter.
That's right.
So understanding that that day is fast approaching, man. What end is it unto you, man? That's the question you need to ask yourself. But with that anyway, you know, Lord willing, it was an edifying lesson. And first of all, we're going to say Tawadi Yahweh. Tawadi Yahweh.
Tawadi Yahweh.
Put in the spirit on us to be out here today.
Everything you have done and what you're doing now, man, all praises. With that, we're going to close out and give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh.
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Wahab,
And what the brother's about to say. We out.